pushing a Trump run, saying that say what you will of his bombast and everything else, he's just the guy this country needs to lead this country. Robert Kiger, run.
Really happy that Mr. Trump announced and got in today. 6 months ago, 8 months ago, I told all my friends and colleagues that he was going to run, and everybody thought that I was crazy. So that he is a strong candidate. I think he can win the nomination, and if he's up against Hillary Clinton, he's going to beat Hillary Clinton. He and Hillary Clinton in the debate is no contest.
Last week when you and I spoke, you were saying he shouldn't have gone there about the illegal immigrants. And if it rips the scab off some wounds to talk more about Veterans Affairs, how terribly these veterans are being treated in this country, so be it. We've got to cowboy up, and PC has gone out of control. Martin O'Malley a couple of days ago said Black Lives Matter, White Lives Matter, all lives matter, and everybody blew up. It was a terrible, terrible thing, and he caved in. He apologized. That's crazy. All lives do matter. White, black, brown, yellow, it doesn't matter.
Do you think that a comment like that, maybe it wasn't heartfelt, it was just sort of the spur of the moment, was insensitive?
You know, the miasma that surrounded not only the illegal immigration comment, but this comment has been obfuscated by the media. No, I think it brings the arguments to the forefront. I don't think these arguments about immigration, and I don't think these arguments about how poorly the veterans have been treated would be at the forefront
fair game. Then
of
what do you think, Robert, of these
conversation.
other Republicans who say, all right, Donald, that's it, and they're using this as an excuse or reason to say, drop out of the race? Do you know whether Donald Trump has considered that?
Listen, they would love for Donald Trump to drop out of the race, but Donald Trump is not going to drop out of the race.
How about running as an independent? Would you like to see that? Many say he could be very powerful there, and Republicans might rue the day they were ripping him.
He's not going to run as an independent.
How do you know? Has he told you that he would never, ever consider?
No, he has. No, he has not told me that. But let me tell you something.
What do you think if he would? What do you think if he would?
I've made some predictions. I've made some predictions on your show, and they've come to fruition. I'm going to make another prediction. He's going to be the next nominee. He's going to be the next president of the United States, and it's going to be a Republican nominee for president of the United States.
But that would mean the others would have to rally around him. They don't even like him.
Well, you know what? They don't need to like him because the American people like him, and they are the ones that are going to be voting for Donald Trump. CNN did a poll last year where 59% of the American people thought the American dream was now unachievable. So when they see a guy like Donald Trump, who is basically embodies the American dream, all the things that he's built, all the things that he's been able to achieve in his lifetime, and when he stands up in front of them and says he's going to make America great again, they stand up.
Well,
and they're
you know, people are getting
Trump.
confused by the messenger versus the message. I mean, we'll see how he survives these latest comments on the campaign. But there's definitely something to what you said, because the media does focus on him, his bigger-than-life ego and all, and not what he's saying, which does seem to resonate with voters of all types. But we'll watch it. Robert, always good seeing you. Thank you very much.
Or James Richardson, former online communications manager for the Republican National Committee, and Robert Kiger of the pro-Trump super PAC, Citizens for Restoring USA. Welcome to both of you. Thank you so much for being here.
I think the GOP needs to try to figure out how they can get behind Donald Trump, because, as I've said a few times, and my predictions have come true not only on your show but on Fox News, that he's going to be the nominee and he's going to win the presidency of the United States. So they need to figure out how they're going to get behind this guy.
Robert cannot be serious thinking that Trump is going to be the nominee. That is the most farcical thing I've ever heard.
So when he stands up with his bluntness, his honesty, his truthfulness, he speaks from his heart, and that's galvanizing to people. I don't think anybody's been any more galvanizing since Ronald Reagan.
He's not going to appeal to minorities. I can tell you he's not going to appeal to Latino voters.
When we've got 122 murderers since 2010 held at the hands of illegal immigrants, I'm sorry, but the American people are completely and totally fed up with it. Even since Ronald Reagan, everyone has promised to secure that border, and nobody has done it. Republicans, Democrats, no one. and he is adamant about securing this border. So many stories. There's 15 days ago, a beloved sportscaster in Oklahoma City, Bob Berry, never even made the news. He was killed at the hands of an illegal immigrant that had been deported 3 times. The guy was drunk, on cocaine, had cocaine in his car. The list goes on and on and on.
All right, Robert Kiger joins us right now. Big backer Donald Trump. Now, do you think he damaged himself in any way last night? Are you worried?
Not at all.
What if he runs as a third-party candidate, Robert, and all of a sudden then hands the White House to a Democratic candidate?
You and I have discussed this before. That's not going to happen.
He didn't rule it out last night, Robert. He didn't rule it out.
I know, but let me tell you something. Look, Neil, how many times have I been right on your show? 100%. Karl Rove has been wrong 100%, and the rest of the pundits have been wrong 100% of the time about Donald Trump. And he is going to be the next nominee.
Really?
And he's going to be the next president of the United States.
We really cannot believe this is happening to us.
Trump announced that he was going to run for president of the United States. I was on Fox News that afternoon, and I told Neil Cavuto that I thought that he was going to be the next nominee, and I thought that he was going to be the next president of the United States. And I also said that he was going to win in a Reagan-esque landslide, and I thought we were going to have to give Neil Cavuto some oxygen. But my question is, later on that week, you were on Bill Maher, Real Time, and you said that you thought that Donald Trump would be the next nominee for the Republican Party.
Wait, did you say that live on air so that it's searchable on Nexus?
Yes, I did.
Do you give investment advice? Because I'm investing in whatever you recommend. I framed that
I said it on CNN too with Carol Costello.
You so should have made bets on that.
I'm in your house, and when I was growing up, my parents taught me that when you come and you get invited to somebody's house, you have to bring them a gift. So I brought
okay, this ought to be interesting.
There you go.
Trump 2016.
I did not vote for Barack Obama, but I thought that okay, this is okay. This is going to be okay because maybe now he can help lift Black America. He can help the African Americans in this country and help bring the race relations together. It's gotten completely and totally worse, I think, for African Americans in this country. There's 90 million people out of work. It's not gotten any better.
But yeah, look, I agree with you on the overall point that unfortunately things have not gotten better for African Americans in this country. We probably disagree on why. I think that Barack Obama didn't do nearly enough to address the underlying issues for African Americans in this country, and we didn't come back and provide the jobs that we needed, not just for African Americans, but for a lot of Americans. Sure. So many of his policies, unfortunately, have benefited the wealthy and the establishment, and it's
that's why I like Donald Trump's tax plan. It's really going to help the lower end of the spectrum in this country. You're making $50,000 or less as a married couple, you pay no tax. You make $25,000 or less, you pay no tax.
Parts of it that are interesting, so obviously that part that you mentioned is interesting. And I like when he says, hey, wait, why aren't hedge fund and private equity guys paying their fair share? Why do they get to pay less than everyone else?
Our PAC, which, by the way, if you want to donate, it's www.restoringusa.org. Okay,
it's unlikely, but I like that you're getting your message out.
You've got to love that about Trump, though, right? He's paying his own deal.
I do like that.
The only reason I'm doing it is because I don't think it's fair for him to do it on his own.
No, I believe you earnestly. I really do. I mean, having talked to you right here and why you set it up, I believe that you're not going to ask for favors. So that's super positive. I obviously don't agree with supporting Trump as a candidate, but I like where you're coming from in terms of why you seem to be doing it.
Donald Trump will be the next nominee, and he will be the next president of the United States, and he's going to win in a Reagan-esque landslide.
Okay, all right. Well, you're on the record. I'm going to hold you to it. Okay.
All right, buddy.
All right, thank you.
I'll come and buy you dinner at Mastro's if I'm wrong.
Okay, and you know what? If I'm wrong, because I think Donald's not going to win, okay, I'll wear the hat at Mastros. Okay?
You're on. Thank you.
So your thoughts on what happened over the weekend?
I'm sick and tired of the Black Lives Matter thing. I think it's a farce. I think they're just there to disrupt. If
What do
they
you
really
think is a
care
farce?
about if they really care about Black lives, they need to pick up a banner and go to the south side of Chicago, where Black lives are being slaughtered on a daily basis. If they really care about the African American community, get up there and do something about it.
So there was this one man in the center of what Donald Trump called a crowd of 10,000 people, and the crowd turned on him.
Okay.
Do you think they were right to do that?
Look, Donald Trump has been, I went to the Trump rally in Miami. Donald Trump has been very polite with these people. He had some disruptors in Miami, and he said, please don't hurt them, just make them leave, get them out of here, but don't hurt them. So, look, I mean, enough is enough. We're trying to elect a president of the United States here. These guys are just doing this purposely to disrupt.
So you think one guy shouting in a crowd of 10,000 people was so disruptive and obnoxious that the crowd had to take care of it themselves?
Well, I can tell you, in the room that I was in Miami, there were 3,500 people. The ballroom was absolutely packed. There were 3,500 people, and 4 people that were holding banners screamed at the top of their lungs, and yes, it very much disrupted the whole thing.
You know, everywhere I go, people say, James, who's going to be the Republican nominee in 2016? Well, this Trump thing is driving people nuts.
It's a nice ending.
It was.
I feel good about it.
Yeah, it's great.
The American dream is dead. But if I get elected president, I will bring it back bigger and better and stronger than ever before, and we will make America great again. Thank you.
Take action. Shape the election. Support Restoring USA today.